Alright guys, today we're going to look at how to solve radical equations. First off, the word radical means it has a square root. So the equation contains a square root, contains a radical sign. The radical symbol is the same as a square root symbol. So these are all radicals. Okay? When we solve these equations, what we want to do is we want to try and isolate the radical, meaning get the radical by itself before we worry about doing anything with the information that's inside of the radical. So in example 1, I have 42 equals 7 times the square root of b. Before I can worry about the square root of b, I need to get rid of the 7 that's in front of it. And since it's 7 times b, I can get rid of the 7 by dividing. The 7's cancel, and 42 divided by 7 is equal to 6. So 6 equals the square root of b. To get rid of the square root symbol, what I'm actually going to do is square both sides. Now, I know you might think, oh, she's multiplying by 2. That's not the case. I'm squaring it. So when I take the square root of b and I square it, that means I'm multiplying it by itself. And when you do that, the square root symbol is actually going to cancel out, and it's going to give you just b. So when I say square, I'm meaning that I'm multiplying the square root of b times the square root of b, which would be like the square root of b squared, and then these two cancel each other out, and I keep what's inside. The same thing with 6. If I'm squaring 6, that's 6 times 6, not 6 times 2. So there is a big difference here. Okay? Just so you guys know that. So anyway, 6 squared is 36. The square root of b squared, remember I'm canceling out the radical with the exponent, and I keep what's inside, and that's b. So b equals 36. Now with this, you are going to want to check your answer. So to check your answer, you would just rewrite your original equation, and you would plug in what you got for b, so that's 36. Okay, and you just want to make sure that both sides come out to be 42. So 42 equals 7 times the square root of 36, which is 6. 42 does equal 42, so we are good to go. That checks out. Our answer is accurate. In example 2, I have the square root of m divided by 3 is equal to 9. If you notice, there's nothing on either side. There's nothing out in front of it. There's nothing behind it. So I just have the square root by itself. When I have the square root by itself, all I need to do is take both sides and square it. The square, the exponent, and the radical, the square root, will cancel each other out, and I keep what's inside. So I have m divided by 3 equals 9 squared. 9 squared, remember, it's 9 times 9, not 9 times 2. So 9 squared is going to be 81. To solve, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3. Oops, wrong color. To get m by itself, and I have m equals 243. Now remember, we always want to check to make sure that our answer is accurate. So to check, again, I just rewrite the original equation, and instead of writing the variable, I'm going to plug in the number that I found, 243. So 243 divided by 3 is going to be 81, and it should equal 9. The square root should. The square root of 81 is 9, and since 9 equals 9, our answer is correct. So m equals 243 is right. In example 3, I have the square root of x minus 4. That's what I want to get by itself. So to do that, I need to move the negative 6 by adding 6 to both sides. My 6's will cancel, and I have the square root of x minus 4 is equal to 9. Again, to get rid of the square root or get rid of the radical, I would square both sides. This is going to cancel out the radical. I keep what's inside, so I'm keeping all of x minus 4. And then 9 squared, again, is 81. To solve, I would add 4 to both sides. And x equals 85. So before I call it a day, I'm actually going to check to make sure that I'm right. I have negative 6 plus the square root of 85 85 minus 4 should equal 3. So what I'm going to do is simplify what's inside the radical. Negative 6 plus the square root, 85 minus 4 is 81. The square root of 81 is 9. And then negative 6 plus 9 is going to be positive 3. So that means we're good to go, and my answer is correct. X equals 85. Okay, really quick, I just want to separate this. Okay. So I have the square root of x minus 2 equals 4. Again, I need to get the square root by itself, so I do that by adding 2 to both sides. I have the square root of x is equal to 6, and to get rid of the square root, I square both sides. I keep what's in the middle, and x equals 6 squared. 6 squared is 36. So again, I'm going to check my answer. I have the square root of 36 minus 2 equals 4. The square root of 36 is 6. And 6 minus 2 does in fact equal 4, crazily enough. So that means we're good here. And my answer is in fact 36. All right, that is solving basic radical equations. Have a good day.